All right, what's poppin', everybody? It's your boy Armon. We're back with another video. Get in here, get in here. It's time to get into some things, okay? So listen, I've been trying to, supposed to get to this video a couple of days ago. I just didn't have the time to get to it because it was so much other news going on. But we are here and we're about to get into it, and we're about to get into some things, okay?
Shit on your ugly, okay?
Okay, so let's get into it. We got to talk about Kanye West and what he feels, about female rappers. Cardi B, where will she be in 10 years? Apparently he feels like Cardi B took Nicki Minaj's spot, then Megan Thee Stallion took Cardi B's spot. Doechii took Doja Cat's spot, and Lizzo was used for fat girls and obesity. All right, and don't blame me, blame Kanye. And here's what I will say to all of them. If you don't like what I say, crash out on Kanye, because the girls love to call me crash out, go off and threaten me. Crash out on Kanye West. Curse Kanye West out. Don't curse me out. Thank you. All right, so let's get into it, because nobody says anything to Kanye West, but then Armon gets on here, everybody wants to start, it's like, girl, like a dungeon dragon. It's like, what? This man be going in. But anyway, let's get into it. So let's talk about the Cardi B piece. So what did he say first? Let's get into that. So Kanye West says, where Cardi B gonna be 10 years from now? They used her. They used her. What does that mean? I don't know. Cardi B then responds and says, 7 years, one album, still the topic, and still being asked about my music. I'm anointed, and I have a real fan base. They come and go, but the brim is still here and will stay. So that was her response to, where will she be in 10 years? She basically like, I'm going to still be here. I have a real fan base. These other girls, that was shade to the other girls that were coming and going, but I will still be here. Here's my thoughts on this. As far as the they used her part, I'm not sure what he means. I don't know if that was they used her to usher in seemingly just a slew of female rappers. I don't know if he's meaning like, the rumor about when they say that Cardi B came in and, lowered the bar for female rap and made it easier for female rappers to get in here. I don't know if that's considered using or if it was an open door and it helped people, to change people's lives, okay? I don't know if he was saying they used her to, replace Nicki. So I'm really not sure where the using comes from. In my opinion, if I'm Cardi B and I've gotten used and I've gotten one album and I'm a multi-millionaire and a mega superstar, and my life has changed and my kids' life has changed, my family life has changed, please, Lord God, send down the users. Please send the users my way. I want to be used in that way, amen? Somebody please use me like Cardi B was used in the industry. If I'm Cardi B, I'm not complaining about quote unquote being used. I'm one of the most famous female rap artists in the game. I get pitted higher than many female rappers, including Lil' Kim, Lauryn Hill at times, Missy Elliott. When these lists comes out, Cardi B is at the top of the list. And for one album, people even consider her to have a lack of talent and for her not to really speak good English. It's no shade. So for her to be able to come in the game as a social media personality, ex-dancer, and be regarded as one of the best female artists and female rappers of all time that's entered the game, well then damn it, use me. I'm just saying. So I don't really know what that means. But if I'm Cardi B, I don't feel any kind of way about that. You know what I'm saying? And I feel like it was a little weird because I felt like, Kanye, didn't you do a record with Cardi B? Weren't y'all cool? So I don't really know where this kind of came from. I don't know if she pissed him off or what happened, but I feel like they did the hot record together with her, him, and Lil Durk. It didn't really do that well. I didn't mind it. And I don't know if that was like a fake Kanye West in the video, but they did a whole record together. But there's been many times that Kanye has kind of thrown a dig at Cardi B. But I'll tell you this, come close. They may not like this, but, I never lie. Allegedly, a little birdie came and flew in and, jumped on my desk. And word on the curb is he might be upset because possibly Cardi B turned down the New Body record. So apparently, I can't remember exactly because the details were a little faint, but apparently, allegedly, according to my sources in my birdie, Kanye West wanted Cardi B to be on the New Body remix. Now, I don't know if that was before Nicki or that was before Ice Spice, allegedly. But there was a mention and a sending of the song to Cardi B for her to get on the record. Something happened where she just didn't end up getting on there. Now, I know this because, just say I was in or around a part of a somewhere and I had heard the confirmation of such thing has happened. So Kanye, I don't really know why you would throw that shade at her when you wanted her to be on one of the most talked about records that you have that people anticipate, the New Body record. And you wanted her on there either before Nicki, and I'm really thinking, and I'm not even gaslighting because I'm trying to recollect, it was definitely before Ice Spice, but I feel like it's no shade. It might have been before the Nicki. I don't know though. So don't get me on that one. I think, but it was definitely, if it wasn't before, it was after Nicki, before Ice Spice, in the middle, for sure. I just can't exactly remember, but it was definitely either before Ice Spice, after Nicki, or before Nicki. But he wanted her on the New Body record. They sent it over. It was a whole thing. Something happened where she just didn't get on the record. And I'm really thinking this was a before Nicki. But there's that piece of tea that y'all got. I just can't remember because this was a while ago that this birdie whew. And I remember, I was like, oh my God, I so remember that. But anyway, and then I remember, hearing, and I was like, oh my God, this is interesting. So that was kind of crazy. So I'm just like, well, you really wanted her to be on your records. You were really trying to work with her a lot. And so I'm not really sure why you would shade her like that when you wanted her to be on New Body. You actually reached out to her and asked her to be on the record. So, I just don't understand why he would then come and attack her like that. But as far as where Cardi B would be 10 years from now, will we be talking about, well, Cardi B is about 32, 33. So 10 years from now, she will be 43. Will she be talked about as a classic in music? I don't know. I don't believe that. I feel like she will be. I think that we'll always talk about, what she did and how she was able to come up. I think her story is definitely one for the history books, and it's definitely one to be studied and will be talked about and will definitely be referenced for a long time. But I don't see Cardi B being one of those artists that we do see like a Nicki Minaj, still touring, doing mega sold out tours and shows at her age. Because you got to remember, 10 years from now, Cardi B will be the same age as Nicki Minaj. I don't see Cardi B having the career and the discography like Nicki Minaj. However, I do see Cardi B probably pivoting into a billionaire status. I do see her being the ultimate businesswoman, having multiple different businesses, and we'll probably be talking about her being on the Forbes list for being a billionaire. Cardi B seems to be more business savvy, more about her money, more about her bread than, to me, really focusing on music. So by the time she's in her 40s, I think she'll probably be married with some more kids and with a whole bunch of money. And she'll be going to the award show. She'll still be fab. We'll still be talking about her. We'll still be talking to her. But she'll be a lot more seasoned. I think she'll probably end up hosting some talk shows, maybe some TV here and there. But Cardi B essentially will just be a rich brand ambassador or a rich, and I mean brand ambassador for her own company. I can see her really going down the Rihanna route. I don't see her going down like a Beyonce, a Nicki route, being a still performing artist at that time. I think that maybe at best she probably will get celebrated here and there, but we would have to get another classic album out of her. I don't see Cardi B just being like getting these like awards for just being like this one of the greatest. Well, actually, I'm lying. I do see her probably being awarded because from what she did, no one has been able to do it again after her. So I can't take that away from her. So I think that she will be respected. It's just right now, people are still not understanding it and still not wanting to give her flowers. But as time goes on and she pivots into the world of business, people will start to respect the moves that Cardi B has made. She just has to lean into that business side and really make it happen over there. And people will, when they tell her story, they'll say, hey, this woman came from the gutter as a stripper with the crazy teeth. She put out a #1 album, had won a Grammy, had diamond records, 5 #1 records, then pivoted and became a billionaire. That is what Cardi B's story to me will be in like 10 years. And maybe she'll do some stuff in fashion. But I don't think we'll just be seeing album after album after album. I mean, I just think that we're too far gone for that. And if we're looking at where Nicki's at 43 and where Cardi B is at 33, I feel like Nicki at 33 had already had so many more projects done, so much more under her belt musically, that I feel like Cardi B is just collaborations alone. I don't feel like Cardi B would even be able to catch up. It's too far gone. But business wise, I definitely think that she's going to be a household name. And she definitely will be here for the long run, because if nothing else, she's going to give us a joke or personality. She's going to always be able to sell something. People love her. Cardi B was born to be famous. She was born to be a star. She just naturally has it. Whether you like her or you don't, she naturally has star power. She's going to be a star regardless. It may not be just in music, but she will be here for a while. Okay? And I think she's already proven that. Now, let's get to the next part where he discusses the breakdown while we're talking about Cardi B. He says, Cardi B replaced Nicki Minaj. Megan Thee Stallion replaced Cardi B. So let's get into the Cardi B replacing Nicki Minaj. There is never a world where Cardi B can replace a Nicki Minaj. And that's not to take anything away from Cardi B. It just doesn't, it's just not the same. The career is not respected the same. While Cardi B's come up is to be studied and is to be respected, it's still not, the artistry is just not respected like Nicki's is respected. Nicki Minaj is in her mid-40s and is still outselling every female rapper in the game, musically and touring. And then her album, over 228,000 copies sold with no visual. She double backed and had to do 2 world tours. Well, I don't know if it was 2 world tours, but you get what I'm saying. She did 2 tours back to back, doubled up in the US. Cardi B has not even done 1 tour and only dropped 1 album. The only thing that Cardi B has over Nicki Minaj right now is a Grammy and a few more #1 records in youth. Outside of that, there's no way that Cardi B will ever be able to replace Nicki Minaj, just simply off the fact of the feature runs that Nicki Minaj has had. The collaborations from like Mariah Carey, Kanye West, Jay-Z, Drake, Lil Wayne. Hell, I even think wasn't there like a Britney Spears, something like Justin Bieber, Chris Brown. The list goes on. Nicki Minaj has touched, hell, Cardi B, Megan Thee Stallion. Like, Nicki Minaj has touched everyone. Nicki Minaj has made such an imprint on female rap and hip hop that there will never be another Nicki Minaj, ever. And the only reason why it may seem like, oh, Cardi B replaced her, it's not that she replaced her, because be clear here. If Cardi B and Nicki Minaj came out at the same time and were the same age, doing the same run, there would be no Cardi B. It's no shade. They're a whole generation apart, a decade apart at this point. So you comparing a Nicki Minaj to a Cardi B when Cardi B came in at a different time. Nicki Minaj set the foundations for the Cardi B. Now, did Cardi B come in and dishevel her a bit and anchor herself in there and get her spot? Absolutely. Did she win a couple battles? 100%. But did she win the war? Absolutely not. Because now that battle and beef is kind of really dead and over, it really peaked in 2018, 2019, we're able to sit back and see, okay, well, where's everybody at? Cardi B does have Nicki in the fashion department. Cardi B has Nicki a little bit more in the business department. And right now, Cardi B has Nicki more in the visual department. However, for the most part, everything that Cardi B has done, Nicki Minaj has already done it. From merchandise to branding to acting, to fashion shows, to visuals, to hair, to private jet, to music. The only thing Cardi B has, honestly, is the Grammy. And so when you accompany that to Nicki is a rapper first, and she loves rap, and she inspires, and she excites, and she ignites female rap, Cardi B can't replace that. Cardi B, yes, because she was a healthy and great competitor, and she came in and did her thing. She's a great competitor, and we want to see what she can do because she is a polarizing figure, and she's amassed a bunch of success and a bunch of fame, and she is a creative genius when she gets in that bag. She's going to be a fashion icon, and she does make good songs. At one point, she was making better songs than Nicki Minaj. However, Nicki Minaj has a much bigger discography than Cardi B, and you can go back to Nicki's old stuff, to her newest stuff. At any point in time, you're going to get into a mood. You're going to be excited. There's certain lyrics and They Could Never Make Me Hate You and certain metaphors that she made that we still use to this day. Nicki Minaj can create a thesaurus and a dictionary of her own. Nicki Minaj's lingo, Nicki Minaj is isms, her personality, because she has a personality too, can never be duplicated, but should be studied because this woman changes the way that people even interact. She excites people in her music, in her raps. People anticipate what she's gonna say, how she's gonna deliver it at any point. And at 43 years old, still being able to sell out tours as a hip hop female rapper, black, not Dominican, not racially ambiguous, not Afro-Latino. She is a black woman that has been able to compete at a level where she's competing with women in their 20s and their 30s and still outperforming them in sales. Cardi B has yet to show that she can do that. Most of Cardi B's success came very early on in her career during her peak. And a lot of Cardi B's success, not all, came during a time where female rap was shifting and there was a hatred for Nicki. So yes, a lot of Nicki disgruntled fans and a lot of people that didn't like Nicki, they found, wow, Cardi B's great. Also, she's racially ambiguous. She's funny. She's spunky. She's younger. I now don't have to just like Nicki. I found someone else I can like because Lil' Kim wasn't doing it for me. It was only Nicki for so long. They tried so many different female rappers. No one stuck. Cardi B had the personality that stuck. She was funny. She came across humble. People was like, oh my God, I have another option. I don't resonate with Nicki. I can go over here with Cardi B. However, Nicki Minaj's fan base is still much larger. But I will say this. As much as Cardi B still is anticipated, people still listen to what she's going to say. People are still excited about her. Just like her fan base, she still doesn't have the thing that Nicki Minaj has. If Cardi B has 1 million fans, Nicki always got about 1.2. You get what I'm saying? I'm just saying it's always just a little bit more. It's just always it's just more. Cardi B in certain areas has been able to beat Nicki, but it hasn't been based on fans though. You know, it's been based on like politics. We take the Grammys. There's no way that in a million years, I don't care even if you ask Cardi B, there's no way that you can have artists like Doja Cat, Megan Thee Stallion with 3 Grammys, Cardi B with one Grammy, Doechii with a Grammy, and you're meaning to tell me that all of them girls deserved a Grammy before Nicki Minaj? You don't believe that. So even though they have these award shows, it just doesn't, it almost doesn't even make sense. You almost like, yeah, you got that, but girl, come on now. Is it truly respected? Now, if it was me, you can't tell me nothing. I got my Grammys. But in hindsight, if you know, you know. It's like, I almost like, don't give it to me unless you're not going to give it to her. Because it's like, girl, how can you not give her a Grammy? And she has all this work. She's changed the game of female rap over and over and over. But yet, I get it. And the only reason why I say that is because I want people to respect my Grammy. But if the obvious GOAT doesn't have one, it's going to be hard for people to respect mine. So like, I don't want anybody to feel like I got a cheap Grammy. I may not like her, but the woman deserves it. And let's just call a thing a thing. A lot of Cardi B's success early on was out of spite. And I've said this. Does she work hard? Yes. But once Cardi B and Nicki Minaj beef ceased and it wasn't at its height anymore, the Cardi B support dwindled a little bit from the general public. Does that make sense? The Cardi B hype wasn't the same. The Cardi B push wasn't the same. I'm not saying that Cardi B wasn't talented. I wasn't saying that she wasn't doing well, but it wasn't the same. The next moment after that went down, Cardi B got with Megan Thee Stallion. And obviously, there was the tensions there. That was exciting, but that was because she had the Megan Thee Stallion. It was the WAP. It was the up moment. It was like, oh, girl, what is that giving? Megan was just over here with Nicki. Now Nicki was still always attached to those moments somewhere. Look around now. Cardi B's over here. Nicki's over there. And there's so many other girls in the mix. Cardi B is struggling to get back outside. Cardi B is struggling to find the momentum. I don't really hear the general public fiending for Cardi B like they did when she first came out at her peak. A lot of Cardi B, what she did, which is phenomenal. I'm not going to take it away from her. She did her work early. And she did a great job at it because it's kept her here for almost a decade. But if we're being honest, after 2020, I don't really remember, and I'm not being shady, and please put it in the comments if I'm missing and I'll correct it. But after the WAP era and up, to me, there hasn't been this huge Cardi B momentum. Cardi B had her biggest momentum in the first 3 years of her career, from 2017 to 2020, in my opinion. The last 5 years have been like, what are we doing? So a lot of people still are, Cardi B, in my opinion, are still getting a lot of success and a lot of recognition and accolades based upon what she did in the first 3 years of her career. But for this last, from 2020 or 2021 up to 2025, it's been a stalemate. It's been a struggle. It's been a, what are we doing? And I'm talking musically. I'm not talking business. I'm not talking fashion. I'm not talking any of that. I'm not talking brand deals, because when we say she's replacing Nicki Minaj just went on a world tour and had to double back and do another second round in the United States just last year. When we say she replaced Nicki Minaj just had the highest selling female rap album of the year in 2023. Every female rapper, for the most part, that would be somebody, dropped an album in 2024 except Cardi B and still didn't even break 100K. Cardi B has not. The last thing that Cardi B has been able to do was get a top 10 record with Enough. So you can't tell me that Cardi B has replaced Nicki Minaj when Nicki Minaj is still out here breaking records, setting standards, and outselling all these girls coming behind her. And Cardi B is not even putting up stats on the board for the girls around her age. And it's no shade. It's no shade. The last 5 years from Cardi B have been like, well, what are we doing? Cardi B, we are still living in the Bodak Yellow invasion of privacy WAP era, intertwined with the Nicki Minaj, Cardi B beef, Nicki Minaj hate train. That was Cardi B's biggest time, and she did the most damage then, and we're still riding that wave. If I'm Nicki Minaj, there's no way that I'm going to believe that a Cardi B has replaced me when everything we're talking about was 5 years ago, and I'm still putting up on the board today. It's no shade. It's no shade. So Cardi B is doing her thing because she did her work early. And it was a lot. It was good. There was a lot of variables in there, but we can't take away from the fact that Cardi B also ushered in, opened the doors for female rappers, changed the game visually, fashion. Cardi B adds a different level, adds different variables. Her visuals are great. Her fashions are great. And I think the thing that we don't like about her is the thing that also keeps her relevant is her personality, is the fact that she knows how to utilize social media. I don't think she replaced Nicki Minaj. I think she created a space for herself. There's no way that she could have replaced Nicki Minaj. There's no way. There's no way that she could have replaced Nicki Minaj because she's not putting up, she's not doing enough musically. You can't even look back. You can't tell me that if you put Nicki and Cardi B out at the same time, same age, that Cardi B will run circles around Nicki Minaj. It's just not going to happen. It just doesn't happen. It doesn't happen. Okay. And then we get into Meg replaced Cardi B. And here's another thing. While I like Megan Thee Stallion, here's the thought. Meg wants to replace Cardi B. She just can't quite get there. And for whatever it is, because Cardi B has been like this. And I feel like Meg has been like this trying to catch her, but it's like Cardi B set such a far lead and Meg just got so many different things that kind of like, and she just can't quite get there. I mean, she went and got the visuals. She's a better performer than Cardi B. She's got more Grammys, but I mean, you can thank Beyonce for that. She's got #1 records, but the music just isn't there. She's got the brand deals. She's got that. However, I think what Meg lacks, which goes to Cardi B's benefit, Meg lacks #1, the fan base. Megan Thee Stallion does not have nowhere near the fan base of Cardi B. And Megan Thee Stallion doesn't have a personality enough where we are engaged as much. I think Megan Thee Stallion is trying to take the Beyonce route and not really engage too much and become like a real celebrity, a real artist, and not really like a social media. But I think that can be to her detriment a little bit because I think that's what keeps us engaged now in the social media world. Cardi B has that. Megan Thee Stallion, while she's a beautiful girl, she's a natural girl, she works out, and she's super famous. I think she's just as famous as Cardi B. I think Megan Thee Stallion is just as she's caught up to Cardi B fame level-wise. And if you hear Megan Thee Stallion is going to drop, you're excited. Like, she's like right here. She has everything else. The looks, the body, the fame, but she just don't quite got the music. Cardi B still got the, like, if Megan Thee Stallion could be put up there, but she's a better rapper. But for some reason, the songs, the music, the catalog, even though Cardi B doesn't have much, Megan Thee Stallion is just don't have the fans, and she don't have the catalog that sticks. And that, for the life of me, I can't understand why. So I don't think that Megan Thee Stallion replaced Cardi B, because you can have, for the same reason why Cardi B can't replace Nicki. You can have all the bells and whistles, but be clear. What got you here? What got you the brand deals? What got you the fashion? What got you the acting roles? What got you all of these things? The music. So, whereas Cardi B doesn't have just the musicality to me to replace Nicki Minaj, so we can't even discuss that. Megan Thee Stallion, while she can copy and take and one up Cardi B performance-wise and everything else, the songs aren't there. And that's what you need to really win. You can manufacture clothes, you can get a stylist, you can get this, you can get that, but the fans and the music is just not there. But she's just as famous. Don't get me wrong. She's just as famous, and she definitely is gunning for that spot, been gunning for that spot. I love to watch them pretend and fake friends, because Megan Thee Stallion has always said, I'm nobody's friend. I'm in it for myself. But because they went so long and had to pretend like we love each other, and no one wants to fall out, they're like, okay, we cool. But Megan Thee Stallion most definitely wants to take Cardi B's spot. Now, I will say this, though. As of right now, it goes like this for me sometimes, too, because I do want to see, I can't, if Cardi B stopped rapping today and Megan, and they was just like, well, you know, Cardi B's going to stop rapping. We're going to just put Meg in that spot. I'm okay with that, because Megan Thee Stallion, one thing I can appreciate about her, she's going to give me the same thing Cardi B gives me, which is she's going to give you visuals. Fashion's not going to be as great, but she's going to try. She's going to give you a hell of a performance. And the most important thing is she's going to give you music. So I'd rather have Megan Thee Stallion, because she's going to give you music and she's going to talk her and you do anticipate Meg's stuff. You are excited for Meg's stuff, but the only thing is, when Meg drops her stuff, something always falls flat. And see, people think that this is shade, but Megan Thee Stallion, I think sometimes she keeps it too Houston, you know? Something about the music always falls flat, but I respect that she tried. So there's no way that Megan Thee Stallion has replaced Cardi B, because maybe anticipation-wise, maybe like, okay, she's a better artist, maybe a better performer, but Cardi B still has a big lead on her, because Megan Thee Stallion's songs, if Megan Thee Stallion could get the records, Cardi B would be done. She needs the records, and she needs the fans. I don't believe that Megan Thee Stallion has that. And I don't know how Megan Thee Stallion gets the fans, because she's just as famous, if you ask me. She's just as famous, but I think the personality is lacking, so it's not drawing in the people. And then two, the stuff with Tory Lanez and sleeping with the best friend, the controversy was just too sticky and too nasty with Megan Thee Stallion, so it turned a lot of people off. And then in the industry, you know, they have the rumors where they say she slept with everybody, so a lot of the men don't really like her. But Megan Thee Stallion was on her feature run. But for whatever reason, the politics got involved, the hooking up got crazy, and Megan Thee Stallion is deemed as one of the girls that are fake. It's fake. And so a lot of people don't really like her. They think that she's a snake. And the general public is kind of turned off by her, because now the general public and the industry is divided with Tory Lanez. So it's like a lot of the accolades that people get, that Megan Thee Stallion gets at this point, because of that controversy, they feel like it's all sympathy. And so that whole Tory Lanez link up, to me, while she won in court, I don't really know if she won in the court of public opinion. Now, people save face and play games for the mainstream and for the industry, because, you know, you protect black women. It's the women. She was the victim. But everybody doesn't believe that. And so, yes, those white people can award you. Yes, you can be on the cover of this magazine and that magazine and do this and do that. But that's still not translating to the fans 100%. So, I don't know. That's my thought on Meg and Cardi B. What else did he say? Doechii replaced Doja Cat after Doja Cat popping. Okay, I'm with you on that. I think that Doechii comes across as a more authentic weirdo, where Doja Cat felt like, I'm going to be like, first of all, I don't like black people, but I'm going to play in this space because I don't want to compete with the pop girls. But then two, I'm going to dip into Lady Gaga's bag. I'm going to play with Katy Perry's bag. And then I'm going to like be a weirdo, quit music, do music, hate my black people, let them say the N-word, and just, you know, then I'm going to go into a full devil. I'm just going to be a full demon. You know, you can't, here's the thing. People dibble and dabble what they're into, but once you start going, ask Lil Nas X, when you start going full demon, black people don't play that. You start going full demon, people can't take that. They're very superstitious and people don't like that. And so Doja Cat almost to me was too much of a weirdo. Yes, she makes beautiful music. She does great. She's the highest streaming female rapper, if you will. She makes beautiful songs, pretty songs, but you just don't quite resonate with her. And there's something inauthentic. And to me, I just will say to me, she's not hip hop. And I know she's half black, but to me, she's not black. I prefer Doechii because it feels more of an authentic, eclectic rise. You know what I mean? So they give the same vibe, but Doechii feels more studied, calculated in a sense where it's like, okay, this is who I am. I would be this girl whether I was like famous or not. I'm just a cool girl and I'm elevating what this looks like. Doja Cat is giving me, this is what I think I should do, and let me be an idiot and let me troll. Let me troll because I think I can. Doechii doesn't give me troll. Doechii gives me, okay. And honestly, as a black person, and I know they both black, but I'm going for the black girl over here that's going to give me authentic black girl and that's not going to sell out because she's really black for real. Than this girl that's going to play black when she wants the black vote, but really she plays in the white pond. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like we got another option because there is a market for that kind of like hybrid melodic. You can sing your ass off, but then you can rap and you can perform and you're creative. Then you're weird in your fashion. So they have the same vibe. It's just what personality type do you like better? And for me, I like the Doechii personality type better than the Doja Cat dig in your nose and eat the booger and then stick it in your finger and fart on it. You know what I'm saying? I prefer, if I'm going to have to pick a kind of indigenous weirdo, I'd rather go for that one. And I think that's what the people are saying. Okay, she's a little different and hipster and eclectic, but it's not demonic and it's not too crazy and cuckoo and out of the box. And then she likes being black. And so I think people are resonating with that because it's like, okay, we finally got a black girl that can give us that kind of vibe without having to go to the dark, without having to be Marilyn Manson. Does that make sense? So I think that's what happened there. Now, Lizzo, they said that she was the fat burner. Lizzo had to promote black obesity. I'm really proud of Lizzo. She's an amazing talent and she's taking her life into her own hands. I believe that 100%. They had Lizzo wearing that fat suit and Lizzo was miserable that entire time she wore that fat suit. Every other day Lizzo had that fat suit on, she was crying. They had Lizzo over there putting mustard on watermelon, ketchup on ass. I mean, they had her just doing anything to stay fat. And then when she snuck and tried to get skinny, they almost canceled her. So then she went into another depression. And so then she stopped announcing. Remember, for a while, Lizzo didn't even put out no music. But at first she had to be big, fat, happy, and free. And that was kind of like what made her a star. But she didn't want to wear that fat suit no more. They had Lizzo out there embarrassing herself. She was over there. It was a humiliation ritual. That was a nasty, nasty game they played on her. They had her going to the basketball game with the whole backside cut out looking like a freaking old washed up bag of potatoes. Did you remember that? When she was at the game with the dressing and cut out and the thong and everything just looked like it was dented up into a car accident? Like somebody was just over there just beating the shit out of on left and whatever. You know what I mean? And there was no proportions. And they had her out there with it out. Then they had her out there, you know, looking like a hog tie with a bunch of men in the water hose, and she's sitting in the bathing suit while they all spraying or all kind of kinky stuff like that. And she was like this big fat ham hog in the middle of a bunch of sausages. And everybody was just salivating on the pig. That's kind of what that was giving me. Like she was like the pig in the blanket. And she would get on live and then she'd cry. Then she'd go and make a boiled egg with syrup. Shit like that. You remember that. Now, though, I think she's gotten to herself. And she's like, you know what? She's been playing with SZA. They've been probably doing their meditations and they've been into their crystal bag and probably lit a few candles. She looks stunning. She looks amazing. You don't see her complaining. She's happy. She's shedding the fat suit. She's got a man. But them people did Lizzo dirty. They made her... But she bought it. She did, in my opinion, she did that because she wanted the fame. But she was unhappy as hell because she was forced into that fat suit. So shout out to Lizzo. She's beautiful now. Okay, so those are my thoughts on that breakdown. Now let's get into Billboard. Okay, here we are. I'm just gonna read it here. So Billboard, and let me bring this down so I can read it here at eye level here. So Billboard and Luminate announced major rule changes that will shake up how artists sell albums, all right, and how they chart on the Billboard Hot 200. So we're gonna break down the clear and simple way so you know what's exactly happening. So first things, direct-to-consumer store rule is effective immediately. So direct-to-consumer so it's D2C. Direct-to-consumer is when an artist sells albums directly from their own website instead of using stores like Apple Music, Amazon, and Target. So for an example, if Beyonce is selling an exclusive vinyl on her website, or Travis Scott is bundling digital albums with merchandise, that is a form of direct to consumer, okay? So now the new rule is if a direct to consumer store like an artist's merch site is caught submitting fake or manipulated data 3 times in a year, it can be banned from Billboard's tracking for 90 days. So they're gonna be checking that, because a lot of these artists have been selling from their website and inflating the numbers. Physical direct to consumer stores like CDs, vinyl, they now require extra tracking. So if sales look suspicious, like mass buys, so all that mass buying from one person, you can't do that. Or VPNs. Now VPN is where they get the people from other countries to go and buy here. Their fans from, like if an artist has a large fan base and they get the Barbs or the Barty Gang from Europe to use a VPN to buy the album here to boost the sales, that's all gonna get checked. So there's no more of that. It's gonna have to be within its country, in the US, okay? Digital albums must be redeemed. This is a big one. This is one that I feel like is going to really get the girls in a shamble. So before, when you bought a digital album, it automatically counted towards Billboard chart. Now fans must manually redeem the album for it to count. So how does this affect artists? If artists use merch bundles, like buy a hoodie, buy a concert ticket, or just buying merch. You know how they always bundle merch? Those sales won't count unless the fans go redeem the album, which means, so if you go buy, a Nicki hoodie, you then need to go click that link and purchase the album. So when you buy it, it's going to come with the link for you to buy the album too. So just buying the merchandise doesn't help you, or does not count as a sale. Just buying a concert ticket does not count as an album sale. You actually have to redeem the album, which means you have to actually go purchase the album, okay? And Billboard is also adding HC Chapta. I don't know what that is. It's like a bot verification to stop fake bulk buying of merchandise and stuff, okay? Album variant limits and price changes effective April 4th. Only 4 digital album variants will count towards the chart. Some artists release multiple versions of albums, like 5, 6 different, sped up, slow down, this one, Spanish, that, English, acapella, all that's out. So Taylor Swift might drop 10 digital editions with different covers. Now only 4 of them is gonna count. You only get 4. Digital exclusive albums cannot drop midweek. So artists used to drop surprise versions in the middle of the release week to boost the sales. Can't do that no more. Now exclusive versions must be pre-ordered or released later. So you gotta release all that before it come out, so it's gonna count to your first week sales, or it's gonna have to count to the end. It's going to have to count at the end of like your entire sales for that album. Minimum album prices are increased. So digital albums must cost at least $7.99. CDs, $7.99. Cassettes, $7.99. Vinyls, $15.99. So there's no more dropping it to $2.99, $5.99, $3.99, $1.99, none of that, okay? So this matters because these changes stop artists from gaming the system with tricks like unlimited album versions, bulk buying, and VPN purchases. Artists with real fan bases and real engagement and strong organic sales will thrive. Artists who rely on merch bundles, surprise variants, and artificial bots may struggle to hit number 1. The music industry just changed, and expect some surprise Billboard results in the coming months, okay? So that's what that's given. And I think, all artists used to play the game because everybody was doing it. So it's not just one artist that's going to be affected. Everybody, you're going to see a significant drop with a lot of people's stuff because everybody was, bundling this, and because that's what the game was. Now, even though the numbers might be lower, if you have a real fan base, your numbers will still be higher than those that don't. And we'll get to see really how your fans really show up for you. And so that's going to be really interesting. And I think it's going to help smaller artists that have a real fan base too, Because now we're going to see, all right, well, maybe I have a fan base, but maybe, I don't have tours and all these merches and all this bundle, but we can go fan base for fan base. If my fan base really buy and we're not using, the European fan base and the Chinese fan base, we're just all using it. Now we can all compete at the same level. So the playing field has gotten more level, and I think that that's fair. And if you're a real artist with real fans, you're always going to rise to the top anyway. So let me know what you guys think about these changes. Let me know what you guys think about Kanye West's list. I know this was a long video, but ciao. We got into some things. And until next time, keep that same energy, and we'll see you soon. Peace out.